So the big moment was I managed to get, I used to work for the BBC. So I managed to get BBC London on a phone call, and I said, please, like, can I come in? Can I do anything? She was an amazing woman. And she said, where do you live? And I was living in Surrey at the time. And she said, can I put you in contact with BBC Radio Surrey? Mark Carter, who I still say now, regularly message and say, thank you for believing in me, because he was the first person to give me an opportunity. And I said, yep, sure. So I had a call with Mark, and he said, why don't you come in and shadow? So I went in and shadowed the evening show, and it was amazing. And the producer on the evening show left, and they said to me, we want to offer you a job as the evening show producer. And I said, no. And they were so shocked. And I was like, I have spent 3 years. I didn't say this, but in my head, I was like, I've spent 3 years pretending to do something I want to do. I'm not about to accept a job where a lot of people say, like, I love producing. I just didn't love producing. I'm not a good writer. I'm not very, like, good with information like that. It's just not my thing. I knew I couldn't support the presenter properly, and I knew deep down I'd just be thinking, let me have a chance. Truthfully. And he was shocked, and I think a bit, I'm sure he doesn't think twice about it, but probably a bit taken back that someone so desperate just to make cups of tea and just to be in the building had said no. But it was probably one of the best decisions I'd ever made. He then said, a couple of weeks went by. I then said, look, I know I've said no, but please, can I send you some audio? Like, please, will you just listen and give me any feedback, which I'd quite often done. And he said, sure, no props. And I'd got really good friends with a guy called David Miller who worked within the building. And he was like to me, let's try and make this audio together, very kindly, just out of his own time. Sort of could see how much I loved radio and was like, let me try and help. I've been here for 30 years. Maybe I can offer something. It was really lovely and helped me create that. So I sent it to Mark, and Mark responded saying, can you remind me what you've done? And I hadn't really done anything. So this is my point when it comes to like the gift of the gab kind of thing. I'd literally done nothing. And I was like, yeah, so like 4 years ago, I was the breakfast show host on Shoreditch Radio, which was all like pre-recorded and from home. And then I got Riverside Radio Breakfast. I did it 1 day a week with a friend. And I've done that for the last year. And I've hosted this event, and I worked on cruise ships. So I bulked out, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What it was like. And he was like, brilliant. Gonna think about cover down the line, but for now, would you like some shifts reading the travel? And I cried. I sobbed and sobbed. It was the first time anyone had gone, we want to use you as a voice on air. I literally was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get to talk about the M25. This is it. And it was like incredible. So that was my first ever kind of like broadcasting opportunity that Mark gave to me.